Feeling stuck in the golf swing is a really common complaint I hear from amateur golfers. And there's a couple of reasons this might be happening. And no matter how much you try to feel like you're creating space for yourself, it can be really, really hard to do. But the feeling of being stuck can create all sorts of problems with your release of the golf club, meaning the club face could be pointing in any which direction, making it hard to hit straight golf shots. So if you feel like you're getting stuck in the golf swing, here's 2 ways you can fix that. Reason number 1, I see people and they feel stuck in their downswing is because of a breakdown of their wrists. And what this looks like is as they swing to the top, they might be in a nice position with good wrist conditions, but in the search for a little bit of shaftling and a bit of compression of the ball, what tends to happen is people pull too much on the club. And as I'm pulling on the club here, my right wrist is coming out of extension, so it's straightening. My left wrist is losing its bow position, so it's not flat against my forearm, and the club gets very narrow to me as a result. And from here, I'm going to be in a really stuck position that I'm going to have to start to flip the club and move out the way in order to make any contact with the ball. Occasionally we might get this right, but typically this is going to be very inconsistent and can lead to all sorts of bad shots directionally and all sorts of bad shots with regards to strike as well. So if you've got the feeling of being a little bit stuck in your downswing, a nice way to fix that is to make sure as you start the downswing, your wrists are staying in really, really strong position. So how that looks is from the top of the backswing, we've got a nice flat left wrist here and we've got a right wrist that's in a bit of extension. So it's looking like this at the top. And what we're going to try and do is actually increase that. And by increasing that, it keeps my left arm really, really nice and straight. It keeps the club wide and away from me. And it gives me much, much more space and much more time to get the club back on the ball. So my release should be a bit more consistent and my release should be a little bit easier to get club on back of the ball. So wrist conditions are a really common issue here. And generally, if you feel like you're getting stuck, I would almost certainly bet there's going to be a problem with the wrist conditions halfway down in the golf swing. Another reason people feel like they get stuck in the downswing is because they lose their width too quickly. And we talked earlier about how this can be from poor wrist conditions, but this can also be just from a backswing where my left arm starts to break and my right elbow gets too much in my side here. So a lot of people are chasing an into outswing path and they think the way to do this is to really tuck the right elbow into the side on the downswing. And this does achieve the desired result of getting the club inside, but it also achieves the undesired result of getting a little bit too close to you here, a little bit too much flipping needed to get the club on the back of the ball. We can still get the club on an into outswing path without the feeling of the right elbow really moving into the side like that. And the way we do that is make sure from the top of the backswing, the hands drop down towards the right foot. So you can see here, I am moving the club on an into outswing path. The club is a little bit behind me as I do that, but my right elbow is not glued to my side and my hands are pointing down towards my right foot. And again, from here, I'm much wider and I've got much more space to turn and deliver the club onto the back of the ball consistently. So if you feel like you're getting stuck, there's a couple of reasons why that might be. And being stuck on the golf course can be really, really hard to have any sort of consistency in terms of strike or direction. So a bit more width and a bit more time will help us consistently deliver the golf club in the same way and should equal straighter shots.